It's animu time! Hello and welcome to another figure review. Today we're going to have a look at the s.h.figuarts Satono Diamond from the anime, long ass name, Umamusume. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly, but it is an anime show about horse races. But the horses are also cute anime girls. Figure that one out. I mean, it's really popular in Japan because I like the horse races. And while googling this character, there is also an actual horse that was called Satono Diamond. And I don't know if all of them are supposed to be based on actual race horses, but that's cool, you know, very cultural. But the reason I picked this up is because I love this design overall. She looks really cute, and engineering-wise, there's a lot of interesting stuff that I'm looking at right now. I don't know how well it's going to function, but that's why I picked up the figure, because I was curious. Let's have a look at Satono Diamond. And as usual, I'm counting on you guys to please engage with this video, like it, leave a comment, who's your favorite racehorse in real life or in the show, and also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel so we can grow together. Size of Satono. My voice is a little bit weird this morning because I don't know, I think the allergies are hitting today. So she stands at about, let's see, 13 centimeters to the top of the head. We're going to the top of the ears, we're going a little over 14 centimeters. 40 inches, that means we are going up to 5.1, and 40 years is almost like 5.5. Size comparisons.
Here's Jolter, the s.h.figuarts Sangoku, Figma Penguin Princess, also from Figma, the prettyderby Majiro McQueen, Nendoroid Pecora, and Darkseid.
Overall look and detail. I mean, as previously mentioned, I love this design. I think she looks super duper cute, and there's a lot of detail going on in the outfit. So first and foremost, let's have a look at the face sculpt. We have beautiful bright eyes and also a nicely painted mouth, a little bit of teeth in there, and then I guess she has a diamond on the forehead. I say I guess because again I don't know about the show. Also we have a little bit of ornament on her ear, which has some metallic, some flat green, and some white. The colors on here are really nice and cleanly done. And then also, as I mentioned, we do have the horse ears, because it's actually a horse, but that's like the only thing that would tell you that it is a horse. For the rest of it, she looks like a really cute girl. And then we have a green ribbon in the back with another a little bit of more gold metallic, and the braid that goes all around. And even have some more detail in the hair. I love how it's molded, and we also have a little bit of shading on the tips, a little bit of a different color. Then, for the chest area, she does have decisively big boba, but there's a lot of clothing over it. So, you know, it doesn't stick out as much, but they're there. And then we have a lot more of gold detail throughout the entire outfit. Also like this medallion around the neck. I mean, it looks nice. I love the kind of like Victorian dress she has on. It's definitely something else. Also, let me wrap around to the back, have like a big ribbon over there, which is weirdly made because you have like this ribbon, this part which is connected, and then you have, let me get a good grip at it. Not hard, not good to do, not easy to do, but yeah, the connections of it is like really weird. We'll have a look at this in detail once we get to the articulation. Also, she has a hole in the back. What are we copying Figma now that you can put her on a base? That would be a very cool idea because, you know, she doesn't stand on her own, obviously. Then we also have the dress, have some more detail in the front, and also like the green, there's some more shading. You can tell it gets like a different color on the lower half, and some more golden chains on the side. And then we get to the pantsu. It's pantsu time. Also looking at it from the back, don't really have butt mold because the engineering under there is really freaking weird, trust me bro. Again, we have a look at that once we get to the articulation. Got some stockings with a little bit more gold, and like look at these shoes, like what the hell, there's so much going on. I'm like, I don't even know what to say. It looks nice. Again, got more gold, got more white. Beautiful paint job. I mean, visually, this figure is already really striking. We didn't even have a look at the forearms, like all the detail that's going on in there. Also, she doesn't have hands, but I mean, this figure does stand out for all the right reasons. For the articulation, we have a lot of moving parts, starting off with the ears, which are on small ball joints, so you can bring that back and forth just a little bit, and also can tilt side to side, and can be swiveled all the way around, no issue there. Those are fairly stiff, and also like the little ear ornament on this side can be rotated, and also you have like a soft plastic piece in there. It's not really a hinge, but you can move it out just a little bit and it kind of gets stuck on the hair, so that way it keeps the position. And for hair itself, you only have a big hinge in the back, you can bring that up and down, no rotation, and also nothing going on the side hair pieces. Then for the head, can move that forward quite nicely, can bring it forward. Yeah, you know, it's pretty good. Backward movement, still fine considering all the big hair that's going on in the back, left enough space for that. And we also have the neck on a ball joint, so you can rotate that around just a teeny tiny bit, and if you put your thumb on it, you can also rotate it, hold on to it. The head moves, tilts side to side, and can also be swiveled pretty much all the way around. Just be careful with the hair. Then for the shoulder articulation, let's see, you do have the big butterfly joint, so you can move the ball joint in there, back and forth, and then you can swivel on the ball itself on the top part, but also you do have a bicep swivel, so you combine these two, can bring it forward quite nicely if you get it into the right position. So it's still fair enough, and you can also bring this, let's see, up and down. Yeah, it's kind of hard getting it into the right position. You really have to swivel it on the bicep and then move on from there. Then we have another ball hinge in the elbow, you can bring that up and down, and can also be swiveled all the way around. And then for the sleeve, you do have another hinge in there, just a hinge. Well, you do have a little bit of rotation, but since it's molded in like an angle, you don't get it all the way around. And then for the other sleeve part, I'm pretty sure this is also on a hinge, so you can bring that up and down, and it can also be swiveled. So that's pretty cool. I wish they would do some more like sleeve hinge parts for like La Plus or whatnot with the Figuarts, which I had recently. This looks clean and it works. Looks pretty long though, but I think it's still fun. Then we have the chest area, which doesn't really move that much. You do have back and forth motion. Does swivel side to side a little bit and doesn't really tilt, because you have this entire soft plastic piece in the middle, kind of like a corset, which blocks most of it. It is soft plastic and it is like a different piece kind of under there, so you can't really see any of the joints, so it makes for a clean look, but articulation somewhat suffers for it also in the hip part. Still, back and forth motion is decent, side to side tilting, not really that much, and you can also, the lower half, you can swivel this around quite freely and always just adjust the soft plastic piece over there to line it up. Then we do have the ribbon in the back. Let me get the hair out of the way. You can swivel this one around and like you have a single piece for like each part of the ribbon, which is kind of going down. And I really trouble showing you without getting the hair in the way, but yeah, can swivel this one around and swivel the other one around and swivel the entire ribbon. Then for the dress, we only have one big hinge in the back, so that moves up, fair enough, but we don't have anything else in the dress. So leg movement is really limited. We do have one of those ball hinges in there, so you can bring that down, but still you don't really get much out of it. Back and forth, sure, but it's completely blocked and can also be swiveled on the thigh. I mean, it looks clean, but especially since they cut it up, you know, there's one piece on the side, there's another piece on this side, and this front piece is another piece. Yeah, you could have just had like ball joints on there. Could have really lifted all of that up, and I think it would have still looked nice, but you know, they didn't do that. So then we have a knee, ball hinge in the knee, can also be a little bit swiveled. I wouldn't stress these things too much, we don't want the peg breaking off. And then you also have a big ball hinge in the foot, so you can bring that back and forth. The part of her shoe is actually not rotatable, so that is stuck in there. It goes back and forth, does tilt side to side beautifully, and also finally has a toe joint. And I mean, all the joints are stiff enough, I'd say, like especially the legs are a little bit wobbly, but then again, you don't really get that much out of it, but everything else stays in place. So for your accessories, you don't really get a lot. What I do appreciate is that you get your random, your standard s.h.figuarts base. It is kind of random that they add that, but then again, the figure doesn't really stand on her own, so you do have the pack, which, by the way, does not go in her back. That was my mistake. You do have the regular s.h.figuarts claw, and you also don't, the Figma base also doesn't fit in the hole in the back. I tried it. What actually is that for is the tail. I mean, I mentioned before that there wasn't a tail, but I should have had a look at the accessories before saying that. So my apologies, fake news everybody, there is a tail, and you can put that in the back in the hole over her ass. So then we also have faces, which actually looks pretty lovely. I feel like we really have a nice range of expressions. We have the winky face, which looks cute, and then the angry face, which also looks cute. And then we have two more faces with the closed eyes. There's like a little bit of smudge on the side, it looks like it. Oh no, that's like just like she has rosy cheeks. It looked kind of weird through the camera, I'm sorry. But yeah, we have that, which like the blushing face, and then the happy face with the closed eyes. And you know, there's nothing else. There's no like running effect. You know, when they're running, like a little bit of dirt that would throw away would be thrown to the side. Well, also obviously don't have hands because she doesn't have hands. So final thoughts. I like this figure. As I mentioned beforehand, I love the design. Now, they put on most of it, but you could argue that, well, it's all just painted on, nothing's molded on. I get that, but at the same point, you gotta remember that if they would have molded all the gold detail on the dress, that would have ballooned the price. Also, there's like some more detail inside of the dress on the original artwork, but we don't have that. So what is here is done well, and considering the price point, I'm not too mad about it. Now, of course, it seems like they also were a little bit cheap when it comes to accessories. Obviously, you don't need to do hands, but as such, they could have done a little bit more of like effect parts. You do get the base though, so it's kind of like, you know, I kind of go back and forth with this one. I really would have liked to be able to pose it just a little bit without the base, but then again, this is like a really busy design. So again, that's something I can't really fault them too much. So what does that mean at the end of the day? I like this figure because it does really stand out. Yes, it's somewhat limited in the articulation, but it looks so nice. It looks so bright, it looks so colorful, and overall, it's something that's just unique. And that's why I gravitated towards it. That's why I picked it up, and I'm still happy with it. So, if you're a fan of cute animu horse girls, or just cute animu girls, horse part doesn't matter to me. But regardless of that, I think this is a very nice, great looking piece for any kind of anime style collection. So I am gonna recommend it. That's gonna do it, guys. As usual, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget, if you enjoyed this review, hit it up with a like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay tuned for my figure reviews, VTuber stuff, and whatever Satono Diamond wants.